Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk. Back in a video today, and we're going to be talking about one of the most recent things to happen in the NFL as the Atlanta Falcons are trading for Lions' young former third overall draft pick, Jeff Okudah. And this for the Lions, this has to feel really really bad because drafting someone third overall in the draft and then you only get a fifth round pick for them because they are receiving a 2023 fifth round pick for Okudah, who is a cornerback going into his fourth season. So, a guy who was decent in his not too great, but was okay in his first three seasons. Well, his second season in 21 only played one game, so it doesn't really count. But in his three seasons, he's been solid, but not he wasn't worth the top three overall, the top three pick. But for the Falcons, I love this move. They're spending a fifth round pick for a guy who could have some potential. Did decent in his rookie year in 2020. Did pretty solid in last year's season in 22. So I think he has some upside. The defense has improved for the for the Falcons. It's just incredibly this season. They just added in Jeff Okudah. They signed Calais Campbell. Recently, they signed Calais Campbell on the what was this? This was the 29th of March. They've signed on offense, defensive wise, they've signed Jesse Bates, who's obviously a super. He's one of the best, position. He's one of the best players at his position at safety. You've added in Okudah and Bates for the secondary. You've added in Calais Campbell at the defensive line. They've also added in Mike Hughes, and a couple other guys. Tia Davis. Couple other people as well. As for the offense, they've made a couple moves for the offense, decent moves. Signed a couple wide receivers, Scotty Miller from the Tampa Bay Bucks, Matt Collins from the Raiders, and also traded for Patriots tight end Jonnu Smith. So besides the Jesse Bates move, the Falcons have made a lot of solid cheap moves. I'm not saying that Jesse Bates was a bad move. It was a great move, but they had to spend some money for it. But besides, Calais Campbell, cheap contract. The two wide receivers, Miller and Hollins, cheap contracts. All of everybody else, cheap contracts. I think they sent a 6th round pick for Jonnu Smith and a 5th round pick for Jeff Okudah. So they've added in a lot of decent talent for cheap contracts and high picks. Had to spend a little bit of money to add in Jesse Bates, but I think that was worth it. So their defense has improved, their offense has improved a little bit. They added in Taylor Heineke, who is going to be in a quarterback battle between him and Desmond Ridder. I think the future. This team has definitely improved. Adding in Calais Campbell, he's getting up there in age, but he's still a beast. And then defense with the secondary of Jeff Okudah and Jesse Bates, and then some wide receivers in Hollins and Scotty Miller. Those aren't huge moves, but they're decent moves. I'm going to go over Okudah's stats before I wrap up here. So in his rookie year in 2020, he played 9 games, started in 6 of them, had 1 interception, which he returned that interception for 36 yards. He had 2 passes deflected, 0 sacks, 47 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, and that was it. Then he only played 1 game in 2021. In that 1 game, he started, of course, 0 sacks. He had 4 tackles in that game, and then last season, in his last year with Detroit in 2022. Played 15 games, started in 15 of them, had 1 interception, which was a pick 6, returned it for 20 yards to the end zone. And then he had 7 passes deflected, 1 forced fumble, still 0 sacks, 73 tackles, and he had 2 tackles for loss. So definitely a decent 2022 season. Again, yes, he's had 2 solid years in 2020 and 2022, but that is not, a top 3 pick. That is, that's not. He hasn't played up to that. But has he been bad? No, but he's not been, up to that top 3 potential. Could he maybe fix some things with Atlanta? Very possibly, but we'll have to see. That's for the video. Hope you guys enjoy them, your thoughts, and peace out. Let me know your thoughts on the trade.